Hello everybody, welcome to Cooking at Isabella. I'm Nurse Tao. Today we're making stuffed tofu. This is one of my family's recipe when I grew up. I remember my mom used to make this dish for me. So this dish really had special meaning to me and I cannot wait to share this recipe with you. Let's look at the ingredient list for today. You need about 3 packages of tofu here. So basically what I did was cut them into small wedges. So what I did is that I take a spoon and then kind of like just do some tofu sculpture here. So basically take them, like make a hole in the middle of the tofu wedges and then set those tofu that I took it out aside and we'll use that for the stuffing later on. That's how it is look like. And I have all prepared right here. You also need about 2 cups of green onions. You chop them really small. You also need 1 egg white. For the stuffing, you also need 1 pound of ground pork. Here is some pork loin and I ground them up really small. You also need about 1 teaspoon of white peppers. If you don't have white pepper, feel free to use the black pepper powder, that's totally okay. We also need some cornstarch. That is just some minimal amount. Basically what we're doing is that in the end, after we stuff the tofu, we'll use the corn cup, dip the tofu into the cornstarch so that can create some seal of the tofu, the stuffing inside the tofu. So what you're going to do is mix the ground pork with the green onion and the egg white all together. Let me show you here. One egg white. I'm gonna have like a few pinch of salt here, maybe 2 pinch of salt here, and then the black pepper, white pepper powder. So what you're going to do is basically try to mix the ingredients in one circle. In this case, oftentimes it's easier to use a chopstick. So it's much easier with a chopstick if you like mix everything together. So basically, the tofu ground will eventually become almost like a paste in a way. And sometimes it looks like today the pork is somehow very dry in a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead just do 1 teaspoon of cornstarch here. Just kind of like give it a little bit more binder here. And then just mix them all together. The reason that I did not put that much salt into my pot here, just because that in the end we'll create a sauce for the tofu mix, so that's totally fine. So after you incorporate the tofu, the ground pork with the seasoning, you can add a little bit of the leftover tofu that you have. So what you want to have maybe this is like all the tofu that I take out from the tofu whole, I should say. So I'm gonna use that as a binder as well. So I use about half of them. You can always save those for later, like if you want to put that into like stir fry, totally okay to use that. My mom never used the leftover tofu into the stuffing, but I'm thinking, why would we want to waste that? Especially right now, we don't have a lot of stuff at home and we try not to go to store as often. And that's why I use it as a stuffing for tonight, so why not? So to make sure that you want to smush down the tofu into the mixing. As now you can see, the ground pork have formed into almost like a pasty looking stuffing here. So I'm going to show you how to stuff those tofus. So what you're going to do is to take one piece of the tofu pocket that you already created. Take a small spoon. And then what you do is that use that small spoon cup, like get a small ball here. And then just stuff into that tofu pocket. Now look pretty good. So once you're done, you want to take your cornstarch right here, basically dip into the cornstarch. So that kind of like really give you some extra layer, and that kind of like create some brown color to the tofu as well. So we're gonna finish those off, and then we'll proceed to next process. Okay, so now I have finished stuff my tofu. I have heat up my frying pan. What I'm going to do is that gonna pan fry those tofu. What I'm going to do is gonna put the meat side down, so kind of give it some crispy side golden brown until I flip to the other side and get all sides become golden brown. And feel the heat of my frying pan right here. So I'm gonna go straight in right here. The medium to low heat. I had about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooking oil in here. I try to get everything in if I can, but I don't think they're gonna all fit in there. Okay, so we have been about 5 minutes or so. The bottom of the tofu can become golden brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the other side here. Don't you love a long chopstick? I totally love that. Go ahead and flip those. And basically just I'm gonna flip this from side to side until all sides become golden brown. To finish off the dish, now I have my golden brown tofu. Actually, I probably made a lot, like for 2 meals, so I only have something in here. To finish that off, I had here about 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. And mix about 1/4 cups of water, or maybe a little bit more than 1/4 cup, maybe half a cup of water. And I'm going to just basically put that in there and slowly braise the tofu, keep it in low heat until the liquids have reduced. And then before I put in my cornstarch to a high finely. So because there's oil in there, so I'm just want to be extra careful in case I create splash here. So go right in here. Okay, so now the liquid has been reduced. Look how beautiful is that. I'm going to put in my cornstarch water. I have about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in here. Mix about maybe 1/4 cup of water here. You want to make sure that everything got underneath the balls got get in there. So basically thicken the sauce and also create some shining color as well. If you don't have cornstarch at home, feel free to use some flour. That's totally doable. Here we go. And then we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit. Basically to reduce. As you can see, the colors are turning very beautiful. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off now. And I'll play this. And we're ready to eat. Here it is. Stuffed tofu with ground pork. I created this brown sauce which has soy sauce mixtures. And enjoy. Here is cooking at Isabella. I'm Nurse Style. If you like this video, please hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you on the next episode. Until then, please stay home and stay healthy. See you then. Bye.